Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and in today's video, we will learn and understand what are the different factors which we need to consider when we are selecting a retail store location. Retail store location plays a very important role in determining the success and failure of the business. The right selection of the store location is very important because it will help the customer to access the store easily so that the store can do extremely well in terms of sales. So now we will discuss and understand what are the 8 major factors which will affect the establishment of a retail business. The first factor is selection of the area. Selection of the area is the most important factor in opening any retail store. The area selected for setting the retail store should be easy to access and known to most of the people. Before finalizing the area of operation, the retailer should examine the population of the selected area and also research the income level of the people. Other factors include the competition nearby, transportation in and around the area so that the people can reach the store with ease. All these factors will help in understanding the potential of the area where the retailer wants to set up the retail store. The second factor is choice of the site. After selecting the area for setting up the retail store, the next step is the selection of a site to set up the retail store. The retailer can choose to open in a specific market where the competition is already present, or he may plan to open in the residential area depending on the market analysis and potential. The selected site should be easy to access, that is, customers should have clear and unrestricted access to the retail store. The store should be specifically located at a place where most of the customers are regularly visiting, or they should be well aware of the place. The third factor is the scale of operation, that is, the size of the retail store. After selecting the location and the site of the store, the next step is to decide the size of the retail store and the size of the business. The size of operation will depend on the capacity of the retail organization to bear the risk, and it also depends on the demand and potential of the area where the retail store is being set up. The store size will depend on the format of the retail store, and it also depends on the customer's profile where the retail store is planned to open. If it is a high income group, then generally a large format will be planned with the high-end assortments based on the taste of the customers. Now coming to the fourth factor, which is capital to be invested, which is also called as capex, that is capital expense. This is one of the most important parameter in setting up of the retail store. The retailer has to decide how much amount will be invested in a retail store and the sources of capital to be invested. The amount which is to be invested will depend on the size of the store and the format which is being set up. If one is planning to open up a supermarket, then the investment amount will be comparatively less when compared to setting up a hypermarket business. Similarly, an electronic specialty retail store needs a very high capital expense as the cost of goods will be very high. So the capital invested will depend on the type of the business that a retailer wants to set up. One has to have adequate finance to decide the success of the retail business. Now coming to the fifth factor, which is the ambience of the retail store. The ambience is the look and feel of a store. This aspect is more of a physical appearance. This is very necessary because the layout and the decoration of the store will help in getting the customers to the retail store. The retailer should make sure that the store is attractive and comfortable for the shopping. Here, visual merchandising plays a very important role in making the store attractive. In short, visual merchandising is arranging and attractively displaying the goods to pull the customers towards the store. The sixth factor is selection of the goods, that is, planning the merchandise. The merchandise planning is done by the category management team, who will decide what merchandise needs to be planned for the retail store. The assortment will be planned on the type of the business and the retail store customer profile. If the retail store is located in the high street, then the category management team will plan for a good high-end assortment. The merchandise which is to be kept in the retail store has to be decided on the nature, status, and needs and wants of the customer. The merchandise should also be planned on the change in income of the customer profile, the customer habit, and the fashion needs of the customer. Now let us discuss about the seventh factor, which is source of supply. Source of supply means whether the goods and merchandise will be supplied from a company distribution center or through the direct store delivery through the vendor. The retailer also needs to decide on the purchasing of the goods from a wholesaler or a manufacturer, and this should be selected very carefully. If the distribution center owned by the company is very far from the store location, then the supply should be planned well in advance to avoid any stockouts in the retail store. Supply of merchandise will also depend on different factors, which are the availability of the goods with the vendors or suppliers, the reputation of the brands, the price range of the merchandise, and the means of transportation of these goods. All these factors have to be taken into consideration. So now coming to the 8th factor, which is sales policies and procedures. The trade policy and the business policies are very important in deciding and setting up of the retail store. Because if all the other parameters are fulfilled and satisfied, and if we don't get the permission to operate the business, then everything will go in vain. So retailer should make sure that he has adopted the suitable sales policy to set up the business and increase the sales and profitability. The retailer, before setting up the retail store, has to make sure that the sales policies and the price of the products have to be decided by considering the competition and the customers. So friends, these are the 8 most important factors which needs to be considered before setting up a retail store. So friends, that's it in today's video. If you liked the video and found it useful, then please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel to get such more updates in the future. Thanks for watching and see you all soon in my next video.